understanding in mind before getting to the syllabus. Okay. Now let us start with the real introduction part. That is the MOS transistors. Okay. Let us see about MOS transistors in detail now. First, structure of MOS transistor. And MOS stands for metal oxide semiconductor structure, is formed by stacking multiple layers of materials, which is used for conduction, insulation, as well as transistor formation. Okay, a fully processed MOS transistor consists of a diffusion layer, which you are going to see in the later classes. What are these diffusion layers and polysilicon layers and all? Diffusion layer means for forming the transistor in active region. Polysilicon layer used as the transistor gate. Metal layers for interconnections between the diffusion and polysilicon layers, or it is basically used as a wire to connect during the layouts and all. We are going to see it in a detail. Next is insulation layers. Okay, to separate the conducting regions, we are using the insulated materials. Types of MOS transistors. In CMOS technology, it provides basically provides two important kinds of transistor. One is NMOS, that is N-type MOS transistor, which is made from the negatively doped silicon, which has excess electrons and negatively charged carriers. Okay, the charge carriers are negative charge carriers, so that's why it is called as an N-type MOS transistor. This is one type, and one more type is PMOS, that is P-type MOS transistor. It is made from positively doped silicon, which has excess amount of holes. Okay, that is, these are positively charged carriers. In NMOS it has excess amount of electrons. In PMOS it has excess amount of holes. Okay, these transistors are building blocks of modern integrated circuits and enable the design of low power and high speed digital logic circuits. Okay, yeah. So now let us see about introduction to CMOS circuits. Okay, first let us see with the NMOS transistor. Okay, so this is basically a layout design of an NMOS transistor here. You see it here very carefully. This is a figure here. Okay, a transistor basically you know, right, a transistor you have studied, bipolar junction transistor, BJT. It basically consists of three terminals, that is drain, gate and source terminal, right? So that all these terminals are mentioned in this layout here. Semiconductor substrate, that is P type substrate here. Since this is an N transistor, so the substrate we are using is a P type substrate. Three terminals are mentioned here in the N region, that is drain, gate and source, where we are having the both conductor as well as an insulator, which is attached here, form a structure of an N transistor. So this is basically a symbol which we are going to use in to represent the NMOS transistor. Please look at it very carefully. It has drain, gate, source, and here we have one body terminal which is going towards the gate. Okay, whenever the arrow mark is towards the gate, we could be saying it as an NMOS transistor. Okay, so this is the circuit symbol of an NMOS transistor. Similarly, we have P transistor, that is PMOS transistor. Here, in the PMOS transistor, we are using the N-doped semiconductor substrate because it is a P transistor. Again, it consists of three terminals, that is drain, gate, source, along with the conductor and an insulator. Okay, which is attached to the positive dope. So this is the diagram, and this is the symbol representing a PMOS transistor. Here, one change you can observe is that the body terminal arrow is going away from the gate. Okay, see, the arrow is outwards the gate. Here it is coming towards the gate. Okay, so this is the main difference between P type and N type and P type transistors. Okay, so this is the symbol for NMOS. So this is the symbol for P type transistor. Okay, so please note it down. These two circuits and symbols very important. Pause the video and you can note it down. Okay. Next, let us discuss about MOS transistor switches. Okay, MOS transistors can be thought of as simple on-off switches controlled by the gate terminal. Okay, the gate determines whether current can flow between the drain and source terminals or not. Okay, so this is basically the checking out the voltage levels between the different terminals of a transistor. Okay, by if the transistor is in on state, which terminals would be getting activated, those things would be covered by these MOS transistor switches. Okay, it is basically a simple on-off switch. Voltage levels in MOS transistors. Let us see some of the voltage levels. A high voltage, typically 5 volt, is referred to as power. Okay, A low voltage which is typically 0 volt is referred to as ground. Okay, power, or we could be representing it as a VDD voltage, and here low voltage 0 it should be representing as a ground voltage or VSS. Okay, these are the names given. The strength of signal depends on its ability to source, provide, or sink, absorb. Okay, ability to provide means source, ability to absorb means sink. Okay, outputs generate stronger signals than inputs because they provide more current. Okay, the strongest 1 and 0 signals come directly from the power supply, that is VDD or VSS. Okay, the strongest signals would be coming directly from the power supply which is going through the transistor. Okay, so this was about the voltage levels, different voltage level, and how it is represented in the MOS transistor. You should be knowing this. Okay, so note it down. Next, let us see about NMOS switch. Okay, and how it acts. NMOS switch. An NMOS transistor acts like a switch controlled by its gate voltage. Okay, so let us see the NMOS transistor in on state and off state, how it acts. Okay, in NMOS transistor in on state, that is the closed switch. Okay, when the gate voltage is high or logic level is 1, the drain and source are connected, which allows the current to flow. Okay, this is one point you should be knowing. Whenever the NMOS transistor is in on state, that is the closed switch. When the gate voltage is high, the drain and source terminals are interconnected, allowing the current to flow through them. Okay, this was in on state. Similarly in off state, that is open switch. Okay, they have mentioned it as open switch. When the gate voltage is 0, that is the VG voltage is low, the drain and source terminals are disconnected. Okay, preventing the current to flow. Okay, whenever the NMOS transistor is in on state, it allows the current to flow through the drain and source, and whenever the NMOS transistor is in off state, it does not allow the current to flow through the drain and source terminal because the switch would be open. Okay, the ideal behavior is an NMOS switch works almost perfectly when passing a 0 from the output to the input. Okay, we should be always passing 0. Okay, whereas PMOS switch is exactly opposite to that of NMOS. Okay, you should be knowing this thing in mind. NMOS and PMOS are exactly inversely proportional to each other. Whatever the characteristics of NMOS, that reverse characteristics be of PMOS. Okay, that thing you should be keeping in mind, that we are going to see in the upcoming classes. So whatever I have explained here, they have given along with the diagram here. So see here, this is an N switch here. Okay, whenever the switch is 0, okay, logic level is 0, the switch is open. Okay, and whenever the switch is open, the drain and source terminals are interconnected to provide a good output. Okay, and whenever the switch is 1, that is switch is closed, the current flow is not happening here. So that's why the output will be producing a poor output. Okay, similarly in case of P switch here, okay, exact opposite of that of N switch, that is whenever the switch is 0, that is closed switch, the input and output, uh, the drain to source current flow is not so good, they are disconnected. So that's why output provided is poor 0. And in the same case, when the switch is open, that is switch is equal to 1 in case of P switch, the output provided is directly the current is going to flow, that is good out. Okay, so this is the switch representation of NMOS and PMOS transistors. So please note it down. Okay, so this is the basic CMOS layout. Okay, using both NMOS and PMOS, how it is represented. Okay, so this is basically a structure of a CMOS circuit. Okay, where it is using both NMOS as well as PMOS transistors. So this is the PMOS transistor they have used here. Okay, then you can see one change in NMOS and PMOS. If you identify it, it's well and good. See here for PMOS, how to write the PMOS transistor symbol is there is one bubble here in the gate terminal. Okay, whenever you have a bubble here, you should be knowing that it is a PMOS transistor, and whenever you don't have a bubble here, you should be knowing that it is an NMOS transistor. The interconnection of NMOS and PMOS, okay, which are where the base terminals and the source terminals are interconnected to each other, and this layout, complete layout, is called as a CMOS transistor. Okay, so this is the switch case condition for CMOS transistor, where it acts for both NMOS and PMOS simultaneously, and this is the C switch condition. Okay, so please note it down. So these are some of the other theory parts. See here, MOS transistors, limitations of NMOS switch. Okay. So till now, whatever we have discussed about NMOS switch, we have some of the limitations to be noted down. Okay. About how far we could be using this NMOS switch and what and all are the voltage levels you should be using. Let us see it now. Okay. The limitations consider of the NMOS switch is not ideal for passing a high voltage because the output voltage is slightly reduced. Okay, so it is not ideal to perform to pass a high voltage through the NMOS switch because the output voltage is it is not, it wouldn't be that much high, it would be slightly reduced. Okay, PMOS switch, the PMOS switch works in the opposite way compared to the NMOS switch. Okay, this point I've told you already. It is exactly the reverse process of NMOS, PMOS. Okay, whenever it is on, that is closed switch, when the gate voltage is 0, allowing the current to flow, and off switch, open switch, that is the gate voltage is 1, it blocks the current to flow in case of PMOS switch. Okay, this behavior is represented using inversion bubble notation in circuit diagram. That is, I've told you here, bubble notation for PMOS. Okay, that only it's mentioned here. Comparison of NMOS and PMOS switches. Okay, let us see the comparison part. NMOS, that is N switch, works well for passing 0 but not for passing 1. PMOS is exactly the opposite of that. P switch, that is works well for passing 1 but not passing 0. Okay. Now the complementary switch, that is C switch, by combining both NMOS and PMOS, as I've told earlier, switch in parallel. See, they are connected in parallel here. Okay, parallel, we get a complementary C switch. Okay, the C switch can pass both 0 and 1 effectively because they are using both transistors NMOS as well as PMOS. So that's why we are using this C switch rather than NMOS and PMOS switches, because N switch and P switch cannot pass 0 and 1 simultaneously. N switch would be passing only 0 and P switch would be passing only 1. But in order to pass both 0 and 1, you should be combining the NMOS and PMOS switches. So that is named as a complementary switch. Okay. Circuits where only one logic level is needed, either the NMOS or PMOS switch can be used alone. Okay. So that's why we are using these two switches, because if we required only one logic level, that is either 0 or 1, at that time only any one NMOS or PMOS would be getting activated.